In the Caribbean Sea lies a tiny island, so densely packed with life, it seems to breathe as one. Here, nearly 1,000 people share a space no larger than a football field, their homes stacked and their lives intertwined. Solitude is a myth. Every joy and sorrow is communal, every breath part of a shared rhythm. The island is a living experiment in human proximity, forced to grow inward, layering existence upon itself. Children's laughter, fishermen's calls, and the hum of daily life blend into a constant symphony. This place was not always here. It was built from the sea, a refuge from a threat on the mainland. Crafted by necessity, the island is a testament to survival and togetherness. What ancient truth lies beneath its crowded present, waiting to be remembered? Before it was an island, it was a submerged coral reef, known only to the sea and passing fishermen. They found refuge here from Caribbean storms and, more importantly, from the relentless mosquitoes of the mainland. Sleeping on the reef, they awoke to a miracle, a night free from bites and disease. What began as a temporary haven became a permanent sanctuary. Using seashells, sand and coral, families built the island stone by stone. This was not a discovery, but an act of will, a home created from the ocean itself. Its history lives in memory, passed down through stories under the stars. Two centuries ago, this was just a nameless coral reef, hidden beneath the waves. Fishermen from Baru, seeking escape from mosquitoes and storms, stumbled upon it by chance. Anchored to the coral, they expected another restless night, but awoke to peace. No insects, no bites. The reef's salty breeze had swept the air clean, offering sanctuary. For the first time, they slept undisturbed, and a silent decision was made. They would return, again and again, drawn by the promise of rest. Gradually, the reef became their refuge, a place where the plague of the land could not reach. The world passed by, unaware of the quiet miracle unfolding on the water. In that dawn, the seed of a community was planted. They chose to stay. What began as a single night's refuge became a ritual, then a settlement. The reef was transformed by necessity and ingenuity. Stones, shells, and sand became the foundation of a new home. Families worked together, dredging the seabed and mixing primitive cement, expanding the island 1 foot at a time. Each stone was a victory, each shell a claim against the sea. This was not conquest, but collaboration with nature, a slow, deliberate creation. The island grew outward, a mosaic of coral and hope. It was a rebellion against hardship, a declaration of independence from the mainland struggles. Here they built not just a platform to sleep on, but a future. The island rose from the waves, a testament to resilience and collective will. No grand design, no royal decree, just families seeking a better life. Their legacy was written in stone, shell, and survival. The island's history was never written in books or mapped by outsiders. Its story lived in memory, told by elders, sung in daily life, and marked in the very stones beneath their feet. Each family could point to a patch of land and recount its creation. This oral history was more powerful than any document. Every resident had a hand in it. By keeping their story unwritten, they kept their island sovereign, free from outside control. Their ownership was built on creation, not on paper. The island remained a phantom on official maps, too small and strange for the world to notice. The islanders preferred it that way, protected by their own obscurity. The island's creation was more than an escape from mosquitoes. It was a retreat from history itself. Descendants of people dispossessed by colonialism, the fishermen sought freedom from conflict and uncertainty. Building their own land in the sea, they rejected the violence and inequality of the mainland. Santa Cruz del Islote became a utopia of mutual dependence and peace. Its lack of crime and deep communal bonds are rooted in this origin. The island was designed as a sanctuary, a deliberate rejection of the world left behind. Its unwritten history is a shield, a veil over a radical experiment in living. The island stands as a testament to unity and resilience. But as the modern world encroaches, the question remains, can this fragile peace endure? The answer, like the island itself, is hidden in the tides. Step onto this island, and you enter a living labyrinth where public and private spaces blend, and homes are woven tightly together by necessity and time. Here, families share rooms no bigger than a small boat, their lives intertwined like mangrove roots. Walls are porous, letting in the sounds and stories of the whole community. Solitude is rare. Togetherness is survival. On Santa Cruz del Islote, every life is part of a single, vibrant human tapestry. On Santa Cruz del Islote, land isn't owned by deed or title. Here, inheritance is by presence. Homes belong to those who live, care for, and fill them with life. Families build upwards, each new floor a chapter in their story, resting on the past. Here, presence matters more than property, and belonging is a birthright, not a privilege. On this tiny Caribbean island, there are no police, no courthouse, no jail. Yet peace endures. With nearly 1,000 people living closely together, theft is virtually unheard of. For generations, there have been no serious crimes. The community itself is the guardian, bound by trust and mutual dependence. Here, every action is seen, every secret known. Accountability is absolute. They protect not just themselves, but the fragile peace their ancestors created. Santa Cruz del Islote's peace whispers through its narrow alleyways, a harmony forged not by chance, but by shared values and daily effort. Born as a refuge from violence, this community thrives on unity, patience, and empathy. Its peace is fragile, nurtured by every resident every day. Here, in the middle of the sea, they have built a world without walls, creating a life without borders. Santa Cruz del Islote once found sanctuary in the sea and the San Bernardo coral reef, a vibrant barrier, provider, and protector. But now, the ocean that sustained them is poisoned by their own waste, its currents carrying plastic and debris beyond the reef. The coral gardens fade, the bounty dwindles, and dependence grows. Their refuge is no longer absolute, breached from within by the consequences of their own existence. On Santa Cruz del Islote, water is life's most precious resource. Surrounded by salt water, the people look to the sky for rain, their only true source of fresh water. Every roof and gutter becomes a vessel, every cloud a prayer. When the rains fail, cisterns run dry, and anxiety settles in. The Navy's ships bring relief, but only for a while. Even power comes from the sky, solar panels glinting in the sun. Here, every day is a balance, between thirst and hope, between sun and rain. For the children of Santa Cruz del Islote, the world is both incredibly small and unimaginably vast. They grow up in a vibrant, loving cage, a 1.5-acre universe teeming with family and friends. Their playground is a concrete labyrinth, their swimming pool, the endless Caribbean. Yet, their horizon is a fixed, unmoving line, a constant reminder of a world that exists just beyond their reach. They hear stories of this world. They see glimpses of it on the few shared screens. And they dream of cities with names like Madrid or New York, places of infinite space, endless roads, and unimaginable opportunity. Every morning, a small schoolboat cuts a determined path across the waves, ferrying the island's older children to a secondary school on the mainland. It is a daily pilgrimage, a journey from their self-contained world into the complexities of the one their ancestors left behind. This boat represents a bridge, a fragile link to a future beyond the reef. It carries with it the hopes of parents who dream of a different life for their children, a life with more choices than their own. The children learn of history, of science, of possibilities that seem to belong to another reality. And yet, for most, the journey ends where it begins. The horizon remains uncrossed. After their schooling is complete, the vast majority of the island's youth return. The pull of family, of community, of the only life they have ever truly known is a gravitational force stronger than the allure of the unknown. They may dream of Madrid, but their feet remain planted on the familiar concrete of home. The skills and knowledge they acquire on the mainland have limited application in a world without cars, offices, or factories. The path to further education, to a university or a career, is a bridge that few manage to cross. The present has become a state of suspension, a place where dreams and reality are held in a delicate, often painful balance. The youth are caught in a liminal space, their minds filled with images of a world they cannot join, their hearts tied to a world they cannot leave. They are the first generation to be so acutely aware of what lies beyond the water, and this awareness has introduced a new quiet tension into the island's soul. It is the friction between the memory of a secluded peace and the intrusive whisper of 1,000 other possible lives. Santa Cruz del Islote's peace, once unshakable, now faces its greatest test. Scarcity strains old bonds, and the elders remember a time when the sea provided all. Children dream of leaving, while the community clings to resilience forged in hardship. The island stands as a fragile symbol of hope and warning, its breath growing shallower, its spirit enduring. Here, peace is no longer a given, but a daily act of will. On this island, every inch is claimed by the living. There is no room for the dead. When a life ends, the community gathers for a final journey. The deceased is carried through familiar alleyways, then across the water to a neighboring island's cemetery. Their memory floats in the hearts of the living, while the sea remains both cradle and passage, never a final resting place. On this island, absence does not bring sorrow. Instead, life bursts forth, vibrant, defiant, and full. The people dance, sing, and celebrate, their energy filling every moment. They do not dwell on endings, but on the now, too bright, too loud, too alive. Here, community and joy are acts of defiance, and every shared moment is a precious gift. As we gaze upon this improbable world, this tiny pulsating heart in the vast body of the ocean, we are left with a question that lingers long after the story is told. It is a question that cuts through the vibrant noise of the island, a whisper beneath the songs and the laughter. We see their resilience, their joy, their unbreakable community. We see the challenges they face, the rising water, the fading resources, the encroaching modern world that threatens their hard-won peace. We see an island that has no room for its dead, yet overflows with an indomitable spirit for life. But we must ask ourselves, was this community truly built from resilience alone? Was it simply a pragmatic solution to a pest problem, an act of human ingenuity in the face of hardship? Or is there a deeper truth here, one that the island still guards with its very existence? Could it be that this entire extraordinary creation was not a beginning, but an end? A final, desperate act of exile for a people who carried a secret. A truth so heavy that they had to build a new world, far from the memory of the old one, just to have a place to set it down. Perhaps the island was not a refuge from mosquitoes, but from a forgotten history. Perhaps the peace they maintain with such fierce, quiet dedication is not a social achievement, but a necessary penance. The island's forgotten truth may not be a simple story of fishermen seeking sanctuary, but a far more complex tale of a people running from a past so traumatic that they chose to erase themselves from the map, to build a home where not even their ghosts could remain. The absence of graves is not just a practical matter, it is a profound statement, a refusal to be tied to any land, a final severing of all ties. The answer, like the island itself, remains suspended between what is seen and what is felt. Santa Cruz del Islote continues its dance, a breathless island held in a delicate balance of salt and silence. It offers no easy conclusions, only a mirror to our own ideas of home, community, and memory. And as we turn away, the question follows us, a haunting echo across the water. Was this community a triumph of human spirit, or the last sanctuary of a forgotten truth? The island does not say, it simply breathes.